If you're struggling imaging the maxillary premolars and molars, whether it be too much interference of the zygomatic arch or you're getting root cut off and not imaging the entire tooth, what you can do is an extraoral technique to image the same area. With the extraoral technique, the plate is put on the outside of the mouth, so in this case we would actually be imaging the left arcade. In order to facilitate that view, you need the animal's mouth wide open. A 1 ml syringe cut in half works well for a radiolucent mouth gag. So I'll just use that on the canines that are up. Remember, the plate inside these bearer envelopes is only this big, so you want to keep that in mind when you're positioning the plate underneath the cat's head. The majority of the plate should be under the cat's maxilla, just like that. So if I'm looking at the tips of the premolars that I'm after, they should be close to the edge of the plate. Make sure the animal is in true lateral before you go to set up the view. So what I do now is I take the cone and I line it up as if I'm purposely going to try to superimpose both the arcades on top of each other. And then what I do is, if you looked at my angle meter, I'm probably around 90 degrees. What I do is I tilt the cone so that my X-ray beam is going to bypass the top arcade and hit the arcade on the bottom. So I'm generally looking at least a 20-degree tilt with the beam. But again, depending on the position of the cat, it may end up being a little bit more than that. So with the cat in position, again, eyeball where the center of your beam is, and you want to see the beam bypassing the top arcade and isolating the teeth on the bottom. So for the setup that we're seeing here, this will image the left maxillary premolars and the molar. The image on the screen may look a little deceiving because you may see this arcade as well. But again, when you look at the placement of the teeth on the plate, the teeth that are on the bottom part of the computer screen and bottom part of the plate are the ones that you were trying to image, and you may see the other teeth superimposed on the sinus cavity. So you just have to ignore those. When you take the X-ray, if you find both the arcades are superimposed over each other, then you need more of a tilt. If you're looking at the image and you see that you have a lot of zygomatic interference with the arcade that you're trying to image, that means you need less of a tilt. So it's about 20 degrees from where you started, but again, it may be a little bit more depending on what position the cat's in as you start.